David Feldman-Makrias, what's going on? All right, so we are going to go over part two. Yes, that is part two of recession proofing your Google Ads strategy. So, where did my little Google go? No, where did we leave off? So, in part one, we went over this simple question that we asked Bard, Google's Bard, and what are ways I can recession proof my business's marketing? So, it gave us some points, and what we did is we took those points and we went and applied them to actual Google Ads strategies and applied in that context, right? So we actually went over focusing on value, not price, going after new markets, focusing on customer retention, and also getting creative with your marketing budget. So let's continue and finish this out. We have another 4 points to go through, and we're going to show actual examples, so on and so forth. So if you like some of this stuff, if you have any feedback, please give me some likes, some comments, some subscriptions, all that good stuff. And let's get going. I'm actually incorrect. We did already go through get creative with your marketing budget. I realized that when I read it. So now we'll start off with simplifying your message. So, simplify your message. People are bombarded with marketing messages during a recession. Make sure your message is clear, concise, and easy to understand. So, how does this apply to Google Ads? Well, again, if we looked at the top advice above, we'd know that if we're crafting and we're discontinuing certain marketing campaigns that maybe aren't doing as well, we need to make sure we look at the bottom of funnel first. So again, if you're already running Google Ads, I would make sure you relook at your search campaigns and actually look at what the copy says. There are so many advertisers out there that have copy that's just super generic. And you know what? In my campaigns that I'm running for clients right now, I'm sure there is copy out there that is generic. And how do I know that? Well, Google plays a lot with automated settings and just pushing settings out there where you actually have Google Ads that are being created without you knowing. That could be dynamic search campaigns, that could be automatically generated headlines and descriptions. But let me actually dive into the Google Ads account and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am actually in the back end of one of our test accounts within Google Ads. And what I currently went under is I went under account settings. And the reason I'm going to account settings is because I want to show you something that's there that is important to know. This is auto apply. So when I drop this down, it says auto apply is turned off. And I do that for a reason. You can turn on auto apply for 23 recommendation types. This is a whole separate video. I only am going to bring in one little part of this related to ad copy. But again, you should double check and go through and learn all of your Google Ads settings. And you know what? I'm going to write that idea down to actually go through with us together because that would be super freaking applicable. Okay, so when I drop this down, we can see there are 23 recommendation types that we can go through. There's bidding more efficiently, there's setting target CPAs or bid strategies, there's adjusting things, removing keywords, adding new keywords. Oh my gosh, this is a great video for another topic, just going through the auto application and what you should apply and what you shouldn't apply and when to use. So when we look through this auto applied list, which one am I actually referring to and talking to? When I look under ads, okay, here, add responsive search ads, improve your responsive search ads. This is where Google actually takes the control of your campaigns, regardless if you're using dynamic search ads or any sort of dynamic campaign. They are going to apply auto recommended ads in your account, regardless of whether you want them to or not. I'm not so much for this. I really don't think that this is a great thing. I work with a lot of industries that have to say certain things in certain ways for compliance and brand compliance reasons. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan. Also, Google's going to create some dynamically generated headlines that maybe look good as far as the Google ad performance score, but really don't put your message that distinguishable between your competition. So this is something at minimum that should be reviewed, okay? And if you actually go inside the ads component inside Google Ads of any active campaign and you have this on, it'll actually show the ad and all your ads that are running, but it'll also show ads that have been auto applied. You'll notice, and I notice in a lot of instances, that the auto applied ads are actually served more impressions than some of the manual ads. And I have a theory that Google does that because it just wants to push, more of its own content out there. So that's not the case all the time, but it is true in many cases. And if you're serving your message out there, again, in times that are more contraction based, Google doesn't necessarily know that. There's useful tools where you can craft messaging differently, like to use Bard to craft messaging. It's great. Should you be writing each sentence and word in your ad copy? Maybe not necessarily. You can get ideas from Bard or ChatGPT or whatever AI platform that you use, but to solely rely on artificial intelligence and solely rely on Google Ads to come up with the best ad copy to represent your business, I do not agree with. So that's one of the ways simplifying your message or changing your message can be applied towards Google Ads. Okay. Next, use social media to connect with customers. Social media is a great way to connect with customers and build relationships. Use social media to share valuable content, answer questions, and provide customer support. Social media is a great tool. I have ran a full service agency. I still believe in social media. It is very good. There is a time and place for it. It really depends on the message, the demographic, the interest, the overall platform, the content type, a lot of different things. I definitely think businesses should be active on social media. I consider things like LinkedIn a form of social media, YouTube, like what we're doing right now, that's a form of social media. But usually we think of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that's kind of your social media bucket. Snapchat's in there too. And there's tons of other ones I left out. Again, I want to bring this to a Google context. So I'm going to bring about, people, when they think of Google and they think of Google advertisements, they think of, what do they think? They think of, again, I'm going to use that shampoo example, shampoo for sale, right? So we look up something on Google search, we find products here, we see stores here, and then we see organic results, right? That's what we think of when we think of Google. But I want to mention too that there are so many more components to Google's network and plethora of data that we need to consider. So I'm going to take this recommendation. Instead of going to social media to connect with customers, I would also like to make sure you're exploring all of Google's networks, right? And again, I know I just contradicted and say, hey, certain campaigns are going to work better than others. But again, you need to have a certain amount of content in the consideration phase, especially if people are taking longer to purchase and making more of a consideration during their purchasing event with you. So again, I would recommend YouTube ads. Take a look at YouTube ads and YouTube shorts if you haven't already. There might be a place and time for that, and the cost is pretty effective still. It's climbing, just like any ad platform that is valuable and live for a period of time. It's climbing, but I think it's still a good time to get into it. So with that, Google offers other campaign types that explore its other networks. Like the other networks include not only Google search, but shopping, which we just covered too. Search and shopping and organic is all covered in our native Google search, but there's also display, right? There's also video ads. There's on YouTube. There's also Gmail. There's also discovery. Again, you want to make sure that you're fully funded in the bottom of your funnel first. And I can make another video on how to know how that is true. So there are a ton of different ways to actually do it. I just want to make sure you're exploring all of Google's networks, right? So Gmail, discovery, and being able to test them at certain points. And maybe if you have to cut back, but you still want to be able to test, maybe you leave a certain section of your budget that you always have just for testing, right? If it's a low budget spend, it's a little bit different. You want to make sure you're just capturing that bottom of the funnel. But if your budget's a little bit higher, maybe you want to leave 5-10% or a certain percentage of your Google Ads budget to test new campaign types. You can do this more regularly in a non-recession or non-contractionary economic time, but then you could even give your testing campaigns more budget in that time. So again, that way you're adjusting for the overall market, but you never stop testing and you never stop. You don't always put yourself in a silo. So hopefully that helps. Next, offer discounts and promotions. Discounts and promotions can help you attract new customers, encourage existing customers to buy more. However, be careful not to offer too many discounts, as this can devalue your brand. Yes, I would agree. And I want to go back to that shopping example because it's just such a nice way to illustrate things. The really cool thing about Google Shopping is that, yes, you have all your competition here, which is fine. But the nice thing is, it is not in any price order by default. I have a $5.50 item here next to a $65 item, next to a $34 item, next to a $98 item, next to a $14.67. It is not automatically filtered by price descension like so many other tools. Filters, I can't even do it in this view. Maybe if I went to shopping, I can actually do that. But the cool thing about that is you can, put a lot of different ways out there as far as your ad. So why does this affect offers, discounts, and pricing? Well, you see like these guys, they have 15% off, 15% off. Now, in the shopping feed, you can actually put this little 15% off banner and make it look nice. This is not part of the image. What you would do is you would go into Google Merchant Center, which if you're selling products online in your e-commerce feed, you can do that. And then you can actually do percentage off. And that would be something that is really, really interesting to do. And that allows people to see certain things, allows people to, know that there's some kind of discount and savings and thing of that nature. And it just stands out, right? So that's one of them. I mean, that's just a simple example. Of course, put it in your ad copy too. I'm not showing any ads here. Whoa. You can definitely see where I'm in Chicagoland, but I'm not showing any ads here. Let's say if I do shampoo on sale this week, Target. I'm looking for an actual PPC ad. Amazon. Wow. Let's say daily shampoo to buy. It's just not showing me any ads. Okay, let's try a different product. Let's try a different product here. So I got distracted. But, anyways, I'm trying to come up with an ad, but whatever. You guys know. You want to make sure that your paid search ad, and what I mean by that is search network ad, also has copy that's relevant, right? Not just your shopping ads. Honestly, the ad preview and diagnosis tool is great for live searches, but you got to go in the back end of your Google Ads account. I recommend to look up a report in Google Ads where you're in your ads, and then you look by the best the best ads by descending impression and descending click, and maybe even descending conversion. So you can see, okay, which ads are working the best? How can I learn from that? So on and so forth. Like, got to go back to the basics. Right? So, okay, where are we? So that's discounts and promotions. The last one is provide excellent customer service. Excellent customer service is essential during a recession. Make sure your customers are happy with the products or services you provide and that they feel valued. Awesome, right? We know that. But how can that be contextually applied to Google? Okay, let's take a local business as an example. Let's take Best Buy near me. Is it going to pop up? Okay, a lot pop up. I really wanted the rich media to pop up here, so let me think of a business. Let's see. Put me on the spot. Let's do, you know what? I'm just going to do, it doesn't really apply to this business, but I can think of this place. So, okay, this is a local pub or local bar that's near me. Here's their Google Business profile, right? I would make sure if I'm the local business and I'm the marketing person, I want to make sure in the back end of Google Business Profile, this is all filled out because Google Business Profile connects to Google Ads. And you can run specific campaigns to promote the Google Business Profile through the Google Ads Network. A lot of it has to do with PMAX. It used to be called Local Store Visits and Promotions. It's now a PMAX campaign. And you actually can run a PMAX campaign with just Google Business Profile in it, similar to like a feed only, but like a locations only or maps only. So that is interesting to do. Plus, you want to make sure that these items are filled out as much as possible. If you have a chat with this, oh my gosh, use the chat. If you have, I just did this the other day with a client that we're seeing tomorrow. They just signed up with a new chat tool, right? Because this industry is heavily dominated with text and chat. So they just signed up with the new chat tool. It's really good. And get this, the chat tool actually gives you links that source everything and actually lead people to different places, because this business unit has multiple departments and people would want to chat and engage with multiple departments at different times. So what we did is we used those chats, those chat links that go right to the actual place in the actual ads. And we're beta testing it now for our Google Ads account. And what do we say in the ad? Chat with us. You need your question answered about your X, Y, and Z? Chat with us now. Like, that's so great, good, especially if you have a really nice chat tool that you monitor and what have you. Lead them right to a chat. Most people just want an answer. They don't want a lot of friction. Just if you can get them the answers super quick and direct them to the right page and all that good stuff, that would be great. So that's one, just a little bit of value. If you have a nice chat tool, if you have a text number, if you have just, you want a phone call, you can designate specific campaigns within Google Ads to do only those if you so choose. Whether you use the Google Business Profile to link that within Google Ads, or you go right to your native chat tool, your text tool, or just a call campaign. So that's how it can be applied to Google Ads. Guys, that is it. Again, tried to keep this video pretty short. There's so much I can go into here, but guys, just a game changer. If you're experiencing market contractions and overall demand contractions, then let's not get so defeated about it. Let's look at the positive. Let's say, okay, there's still buyers out there. They still need products. We just need to be really efficient with how we do things. We need to inspect what we expect. And we need to understand that buyers just need more consideration, and we need to make sure we're there for that. So again, you can identify within Google your bottom of funnel. You can analyze a lot of different things, so on and so forth. So to recap, right? Analyze your marketing with the bottom of funnel. Know which campaigns in Google Ads you have for bottom of funnel, and then recognize other campaigns that you have towards the mid and the top. Identify if they're working, not just by looking at conversions, but looking at your overall analytics and website picture. Review your messaging. Make sure you're going after new markets by exploring demographics and interest-based audiences within Google Ads as well. When it gets time to adjusting your marketing budget, I would recommend, of course, trim off. If you have to trim off the campaigns that are spending inefficiently. And you can identify that a lot of the time by campaign type and what they're actual bringing in. But always keep some budget to continue to test new things. And it could be the same budget every month. That's actually a really awesome idea. What people really should do is, I'm going to reserve this amount of budget to test within Google Ads. That's how you know this is a good video. I had to pause it 4 times for new ideas. And to write them down. So have a testing budget, right? Have a testing budget, but you also want to make sure your campaign types actually have enough saturation within that test. So that's something I'll get more into in another video. Again, simplify your message. Make sure your message is simple and identifiable for the customers. But how it applies to Google Ads, know where to look to make sure you're running the right message. Remember those auto apply recommendations. Check your overall settings. Use social media content. So that's more so making sure you're leveraging every single campaign type that you can, as long as your budget adheres to it. Make sure you're using the correct discounts and promotions. And then, of course, provide excellent customer service, and do that through utilizing your website and Google Ads connection in every way possible, including chats, texts, phone call campaigns, and leading them directly to it. Overall, how can we remove the amount of friction and the amount of steps a customer has to take and bear through in order to get their end product? and how much value can we provide? And when you ask those questions and you lean on your Google Ads expert, that's when you're going to find some really great stuff happening. So guys, David Feldman-Makrias again, really excited to share this with you. And if you need any assistance with Google Ads marketing, or you want any more content brought about on specific ways, I'm willing to push out videos for your requests. Let me know, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much.